Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. I am Hannah.
And I am James. Lovely to see you again. How are you doing today, Hannah?
Oh, I'm brilliant, thanks. Although I must confess I have picked up a terrible habit recently. I always check my phone first thing in the morning, even before I get out of bed.
Hannah, that's awful. Actually, I do that too. I usually scroll through messages for about 20 minutes before I've even brushed my teeth.
See, that's exactly the kind of habit we're going to talk about today. And don't worry, we'll focus on good habits too, especially habits that help you learn English better.
Right. So today's conversation is all about habits. Not your daily routine or schedule, but those things you do repeatedly. The good ones, the bad ones, and the funny ones.
Let's get started, shall we?
So Hannah, when we talk about habits, what exactly do we mean?
Great question. A habit is something you do regularly, often without really thinking about it. It's an action you repeat again and again.
Exactly. For example, I always have a cup of tea in the afternoon, every single day. I don't plan it, I just do it automatically.
Oh, very British of you, James. I'm the same with coffee. I usually drink 3 cups a day, sometimes 4 if I'm tired.
See? Those are habits. And when we describe habits in English, we often use specific words. Words like always, usually, often, sometimes, and never.
Right. These words tell us how frequently we do something. For instance, I always brush my teeth before bed. That means I do it every single night without exception.
And I usually read before sleeping. Not every night, but most nights, maybe 5 or 6 times a week.
Perfect example. Now, I often forget where I put my keys. It happens quite regularly, probably 3 or 4 times a week. It's a bad habit, really.
That's definitely a bad habit. I sometimes leave dirty mugs around the house. My flatmate gets quite annoyed with me.
Oh, dear. And what about never? Can you think of something you never do?
I never drink coffee after 6 p.m. It keeps me awake all night if I do.
Sensible. I never skip breakfast. Even if I'm running late, I always grab something to eat.
These frequency words are super useful when you're learning English, aren't they?
Absolutely. They help you describe yourself and your behavior to others. Right. Let's talk about good habits first. James, what good habits do you have?
Well, I'm quite proud of this one. I always make my bed in the morning. It makes me feel organized, even if the rest of my flat is a mess.
That's brilliant. Starting the day with something positive. I usually exercise 3 times a week. I go to the gym or do yoga at home.
That's excellent. I should do that more often. I only exercise maybe once a week, sometimes twice if I'm feeling motivated.
At least you're honest. What about reading? Do you read regularly?
I do. I usually read for about 30 minutes before bed. Sometimes it's a novel, sometimes it's news articles on my phone.
Lovely. Reading is such a good habit. I often read while I'm having lunch, just a few pages of whatever book I'm into at the moment.
Do you know what else is a good habit? Staying in touch with friends and family. I always call my mom on Sundays. We chat for about an hour.
Aw, that's sweet. I usually text my sister every day. Just little messages, sending funny photos or asking how she's doing.
Those small connections really matter, don't they?
They do. Now, here's a question for our viewers, and for you, James. What good habits do you have for learning English?
Ooh, good question. Well, I'm English, so I've got a bit of an advantage there. But when I was learning Spanish, I always listened to podcasts during my commute.
That's perfect. Listening regularly is such an important habit. I often recommend that to learners. Find something you enjoy listening to in English and do it consistently.
Absolutely. It doesn't have to be studying or lessons. It could be music, podcasts about your hobbies, or even watching your favorite TV shows in English.
Exactly. I always tell students, make English part of your daily life, not just something you do in a classroom.
What other learning habits do you suggest?
Well, I usually tell people to speak out loud, even when they're alone. Practice pronunciation, repeat sentences, talk to yourself.
Don't people think you're a bit mad talking to yourself?
Maybe, but it works. I sometimes practice my French while I'm cooking dinner. Nobody's there to judge me.
Fair enough. What about writing? Is that a good habit?
Oh, definitely. I often write in a journal, just in English. Some people write about their day, others write about their feelings or ideas.
And it doesn't have to be perfect, does it?
At all. The habit is more important than perfection. If you usually write a few sentences every day, your English will improve naturally.
Right, now let's be honest about bad habits. We all have them.
Where do I start? I always leave things until the last minute. If I have a deadline, I usually wait until the day before to start.
You're a procrastinator.
Guilty. What about you?
I often eat while watching TV. I know it's not healthy, you're supposed to focus on your food, but I always end up having dinner in front of the telly.
I do that too. And then I sometimes eat too much because I'm not paying attention.
Exactly. Here's another one. I never fold my laundry. I wash it, I dry it, but then it just sits in a pile on my chair.
Oh, James, that's terrible.
I know, but I always think I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, and I still don't do it.
That's the thing about bad habits. They're hard to break. I usually bite my nails when I'm nervous. I've been trying to stop for years.
Really? I never would have noticed.
That's because I often sit on my hands during recordings. It stops me from doing it.
Clever. What about bad habits related to learning English? What do students often do wrong?
Oh, that's a good question. I think many learners never practice speaking because they're too afraid of making mistakes.
That is a bad habit. You need to make mistakes to learn, don't you?
Absolutely. Another bad habit, students sometimes only focus on grammar rules and never actually use the language in real situations.
Right. They study, but they don't practice.
Exactly. Or they always translate everything in their heads instead of trying to think in English.
Oh, I did that with Spanish. I usually thought in English first, then translated. It made conversations really slow and awkward.
It's so common. And here's another one. Some learners often give up too quickly. They try something for a week, don't see immediate results, and stop.
Patience is important, isn't it?
Very. Learning a language takes time. You need to build consistent habits over months, not days.
What about phone habits? I bet you're going to mention those.
Oh, definitely. So many people always check their phones every few minutes. It completely ruins the concentration.
Guilty. I sometimes check my phone over 100 times a day. There's actually an app that counts it.
That's quite alarming, James.
I know. And when I'm trying to read or study, I often get distracted by notifications. Ping, there's a message. Ping, there's an email.
You should turn them off.
I should, but I never do. See? Bad habit.
At least you're aware of it. Self-awareness is the first step.
So speaking of self-awareness, how do we actually break bad habits?
Well, it's not easy. The first thing is to notice what you're doing. You can't change a habit if you're not aware of it.
Right, so you usually need to pay attention to your behavior first.
Exactly. For example, if you always scroll through social media for hours, start noticing when you do it and why.
Is it boredom, procrastination, habit?
Usually a combination. Once you know why, you can often find a replacement behavior.
What do you mean?
Well, instead of scrolling through your phone, you could read a book or listen to a podcast or practice English.
Oh, I see. Replace the bad habit with a good one.
Precisely. I usually tell students, if you always watch TV in your own language, try watching English shows instead.
Same activity, but more useful.
Exactly. Or if you often listen to music anyway, listen to English songs and try to understand the lyrics.
That's brilliant. What about building completely new habits? That's hard too, isn't it?
It is. The key is to start small. Don't say, I'm going to study English for 3 hours every day if you never study at all.
That's too ambitious.
Way too ambitious. Instead, start with something tiny. Maybe I usually spend 5 minutes reviewing vocabulary after breakfast.
5 minutes is manageable.
Exactly. And once that becomes automatic, you can often increase it. Maybe after a few weeks, you usually spend 10 minutes, then 15.
So consistency is more important than duration.
Absolutely. It's better to study for 5 minutes every single day than for 3 hours once a month.
That makes sense. What else helps when building habits?
I usually link new habits to existing ones. For example, after I brush my teeth, I always review 10 English words.
Oh, that's clever. So you attach the new habit to something you already do automatically.
Exactly. Your brain learns toothbrushing equals vocabulary review. They become connected.
I should try that. Maybe after I make my morning tea, I usually listen to 5 minutes of English news.
Perfect. See, you're getting it.
Right. Let's focus specifically on English learning habits now. What are the best habits someone can develop?
Well, listening is huge. If you usually listen to English for at least 20 minutes a day, your comprehension improves so much.
And it doesn't feel like studying, does it?
Not at all. You can listen while you're commuting, cooking, exercising. I often listen to audiobooks while I'm doing housework.
What about speaking? That's the scary one for most learners.
It is. But here's the thing. You should always speak out loud, even when you're alone. I usually encourage students to narrate their actions.
What, like I'm making a cup of tea now?
Exactly. Or, I'm walking to the shop. The weather is nice today. I often walk this route.
I'd feel quite silly doing that.
Maybe at first, but it's incredibly effective. You're practicing pronunciation, grammar, and thinking in English all at once.
Fair point. What about reading?
Reading is essential. I usually tell students to read something in English every day, even if it's just for 10 minutes.
What should they read?
Anything they find interesting. Some people often read news articles, others read novels, some read social media posts or blogs.
So it doesn't have to be textbooks or academic stuff?
Definitely not. If you always force yourself to read boring material, you'll never stick with it.
What about writing habits?
Writing is brilliant for practice. You could keep a journal, write comments on YouTube videos, send messages in English.
I sometimes write reviews of films or restaurants online. I never thought of that as language practice.
But it is. Anytime you're producing language, you're learning. And with writing, you usually have more time to think about grammar and vocabulary.
That's true. You can't edit yourself when you're speaking.
Exactly. So writing often helps you notice your mistakes and improve.
What about vocabulary? How often should someone review new words?
Ideally, you should review new vocabulary every day, even if just for a few minutes. I usually use flashcards or apps.
Do those spaced repetition apps work?
They do. They show you words just when you're about to forget them. If you always review consistently, the words stick in your long-term memory.
And how many new words should someone learn?
I usually recommend 5 to 10 new words per day, not more. If you try to learn 50 words at once, you'll often forget most of them.
Quality over quantity.
Exactly. Better to really learn 5 words than to superficially see 50.
Hannah, you mentioned learning French earlier. What habits have you developed for that?
Oh, well, I'm not perfect, but I usually try to do something in French every day. Sometimes it's just listening to a French podcast for 10 minutes.
Do you understand everything?
Laughs. Absolutely not. I often understand maybe 60 or 70%, but that's okay. I'm always improving.
What other habits do you have?
I usually change my phone settings to French, so all the menus, apps, everything is in French now.
Oh, that's clever. Constant exposure.
Exactly. And I often watch French films with French subtitles, not English subtitles, French ones.
That sounds quite difficult.
It is at first, but I'm always learning new expressions and improving my reading speed at the same time.
What about speaking? Do you practice that?
I sometimes use language exchange apps. I chat with French speakers who want to practice English. We usually spend half the time in each language.
That's brilliant. Free practice, and you're helping someone else too.
Exactly. Though I must admit, I'm often nervous before these conversations. I still make loads of mistakes.
But you do it anyway?
I do because I know that's the only way to improve. If I never spoke because I was afraid of mistakes, I'd never get better.
That's such an important lesson for our viewers. Fear of mistakes is probably the biggest obstacle, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I always tell students, mistakes are proof that you're trying. If you're not making mistakes, you're not challenging yourself.
What keeps you motivated? How do you maintain these habits?
Honestly, I usually set really small goals. Not, I'm going to be fluent in 6 months, but I'm going to listen to one podcast episode this week.
Achievable goals.
Exactly. And I often reward myself. If I practice French for 5 days in a row, I buy myself a nice coffee or watch my favorite show.
Positive reinforcement.
It works. Our brains always respond well to rewards.
What advice would you give someone who's trying to build English learning habits?
Start today, start small, and be consistent. Don't wait for Monday, don't wait for next month, just begin.
And if they miss a day?
Don't give up. One missed day doesn't ruin everything. I sometimes skip my French practice when I'm really busy or tired, but I always come back to it the next day.
So persistence is key.
Absolutely. It's not about being perfect, it's about showing up regularly and doing your best.
Well, I think that's brilliant advice, Hannah. We've covered so much today about habits.
We have. Let's quickly recap. We talked about what habits are, how to describe them using frequency words.
We discussed good habits and bad habits, including some embarrassing personal examples.
Yes, we were very honest today. We also talked about how to break bad habits and build good ones.
And most importantly, we focused on English learning habits, listening, speaking, reading, writing, and vocabulary practice.
The key message is small, consistent actions usually lead to big results over time.
Exactly. You don't need to study for hours every day. Just do something in English regularly, and you'll always be improving.
So, our challenge for you is this. Choose one new English habit to start today. Maybe you'll usually listen to English podcasts, or you'll often practice speaking out loud.
Whatever you choose, stick with it. And remember, we're always here to support you on your learning journey.
If you enjoyed this conversation, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Talk Amy for more English practice.
And leave a comment telling us what's one good habit you already have, and what's one bad habit you're trying to break.
We'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching, everyone.
Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye!